all begs watching this channel. Welcome to another episode of Political Hard Talk. I am your host, none other than the greatest laborite alive. Good morning, my people. Good morning. Now, I got a few things to talk about this morning, my people. I also got two audios. One of them segue into the topic, that we're going to talk about this morning. Let's put the morning shoutouts. Tell me if you not see me, tell me if you not hear me, tell me if I'm blurry, tell me what I want. See? I will open the phone lines shortly. See? So let's get into it, my people. Aubrey, big up yourself. Mama Melody, good morning. Mama Winsome, good morning. Arlene, big up yourself. And Terrific, big up yourself. Elements Girl, big up yourself. Shirley, big up yourself. Ivan, big up yourself. Dahlia, Keisha, big up yourself. Father Dennis, big up yourself. Who else is here? Mama Winsome, Nemad Shaw, good morning. There's 26 of us. I'm gonna see if we can get me to at least 20 likes. Before we get any further, before we get into the program, my people, let me just say, Pauline, good morning. Leah, or Aya, big up yourself, good morning. Let me just say to you guys that, I want to express my gratitude and just tell you guys how lucky I feel to have you guys as my support base. You guys turn up here every morning to see the Dutch. We are growing. There's new people being added. But you guys, that I shout out on a daily basis. You guys have been here for the greater part of a year. Some of you have been here 2 years, some 3 years. And I just want to tell you guys just how happy I am to have you guys supporting the Dutch. So big up on yourself. I appreciate all of the love and support. I appreciate all of the prayers. People message me, praying for me, and the channel's number, so big up to all the elder them, that sits here and listen to me rant and rave, and I appreciate it, guys. So I just want to tell you guys that from my heart, I really appreciate you guys. Sylva, big up yourself. Caroline, big up yourself. Good morning. We're going to move to a clip with the Prime Minister, and then we're going to go to one from Nationwide. Today, as Lifestyle said that we are wearing black this morning to stand in unison with Melissa Silvera. We don't believe that a charge of manslaughter brought her any justice, but we are standing in solidarity with her and her children, condolence to her and her family. And we were hoping for justice. And we don't believe that justice was done as it relates to her. Monica, big up yourself. Beverly Clark, good morning. Before we move to that though, for persons who weren't on the live last night, I want to listen to this.
First you, but I'm going to tell you, Jamaica. You see this man he should have never taken that plea deal, that agreement. He knows he never killed his wife. He knows the scheme that is being plotted against him. He knows, Jamaica. So, Silvera, why? Who coerced you? Who forced you to have taken that deal?
For sticking in.
No, you guys just imagine how much better the world would have been if people like that thing there was not in the world. Just imagine how much better the world would have been. And how much better the world would have been if people like Mark Golding and Giles and Sylva and the PNP and their ilk was not in the world. Just imagine. You look at something like this. It is clear and it is evident that this brother have killed his wife. And even then, the PNP cannot take their head out of their buttocks to speak the truth, even then. Anyway, we'll continue the program, my people. Listen to this. Now, before I play this, let me just say, hold on, I'm going to cue it. Because last night, me and Shanice was talking, and, we were talking about, how expensive food is. And, I have noticed that food prices are going down in the supermarkets in England. As it relates to ready meals and takeaway, the price is actually going up on those and staying. But when you go in the supermarket, the prices are starting to go down. So I was talking about Jamaica, and I was saying to her that, the government should work on bringing down food prices once they're over this crisis, because they will get over it. But then I remember that, this is the reason for cold storage, all of the stuff that they are doing now, irrigation, putting in irrigation, cold storage. I saw in the news this morning that the government is planning to, bring in chicken to bring down the price of chicken, because there's a shortage of chicken right now. And, the price, because there's a shortage, the price is high. So I wanted to play this clip. As I woke up and I saw it and I started putting it together. The government is actually putting in the building blocks to secure Jamaica food-wise. See? And it will eventually happen. So listen to this, my people.
Develop the project. Now, as projects go in Jamaica, there are many projects because there's just a lot of things to do in Jamaica. And we have a lot of bright people who can develop the projects, write the project proposals. But permit me, if I use this celebratory event, to commiserate that it took us that long, from 2017 till now, to bring a project like this, which was conceptualized maybe 3 decades ago, to fruition. We're here very happy that we're going to have now the ability to stabilize prices by virtue of being able to control excess production, by having the ability to store and repurpose through processing, to give greater certainty to farmers of making a return from their output, and greater certainty to consumers in the price that they face at the market, and an expansion in output by adding greater value to the initial production. We're celebrating this now, but we could have had this 30 years ago, 20 years ago, and we could have had it earlier than now. Almost every project that I officiate at and launch, I must make this point because it has become such an important part of the Jamaican landscape and the challenge that we face as a people. Now, just Friday, I was at another event, conceived a long time, but probably started about the same time as this project started in 2019, and that is the Bustamante Hospital. It's the facility that allows mothers to be able to stay overnight in support of their children who are being treated at the Bustamante Children's Hospital. Yes, it's a 32-bed facility. It's an amazing facility as I toured it. Project was financed by the NHT, so there is no financial issue. But yet, we were only just a few days ago able to complete and open it. Why? Why? I'm going to be told, as we have been told here and has been mentioned, well, it was impacted by the pandemic. So yes, 2019, 2020, those 2 years in particular, Difficult years, it shifted timelines, disrupted supply chain, and therefore had an impact on the ability for projects to be delivered on time. Okay, so let's take 2 years off the project time. Force majeure, nothing we could do. But bear in mind that a similar project was done, financed in Belize from the same UK infrastructure fund, which was to build a coastal highway. That was for 23 or 24 million pounds. This entire project was for 53 million pounds. But they completed theirs in 2023, and it started about the same time or probably a little after ours.
But I'm going to...
Yeah, so the whole procurement framework need to shake up, my people. It is the bureaucracies taking up project time. You know, Jakey, good morning. Arnold, big up yourself. DGG, good morning. I really enjoyed the live last night with former MP caretaker Dorland Francis, my people. We're going to get him back on to finish the story another time. I am also trying to get others to come because there's other persons that can tell you different things about Michael Manley, you know, and to show the people of Jamaica. Father, that night, big up yourself, that this character that was called Michael Manley, you know, wasn't a nice guy like people thought, you know. So we're going to get some others on to come and tell, you know, different sides of the story, basically. Good morning, Corinne. Good morning. So, guys, today we are wearing black to stand in solidarity with Melissa Sylva and her children. We do not feel like justice is done. You know, other different people have different take on the whole issue. You know, we are waiting to see what will happen on the 6th of March. That will tell us if some semblance of justice was done. And, you know, we'll take it from there. You know, I know the Jamaican people will be outraged if, you know, if something heavy na Japan lap. But anyway, the PNP and their leader for the last 10 years, and this would have been between Peter Phillips and Mark Golding, have had nothing to offer to the Jamaican people. Good morning to my beautiful wife. Good morning, baby. They have had nothing by way of policy to offer the Jamaican people. We see this scandal with the UWI, with the machines at UWI. Mark Golding, who is supposed to have the utmost integrity, was doing press conference and the whole UWI thing. Now that it is established that it is Jack then that got the machines, Mark Golding is nowhere to be found, my people. So let's listen to Tyrone and then we're going to break that down as the audio go.
To you on the 90 FM band, and of course, if you are over there on our YouTube channel, top of the...
Christopher, big up yourself, and good morning to my beautiful mother-in-law. Good morning, mommy.
Evening to you as well. You are inside the nation's business, and inside the nation's business, we want to get some perspectives on nationwide reportage that has been able to confirm that the company which the Auditor General's Department says was the beneficiary of the University Hospital of the West Indies' inappropriate use of its tax exemption status to import 12 dialysis machines is Jatden Limited. A report prepared by the Auditor General's Department and tabled recently in Parliament says in 2024, the hospital used its tax exempt status to secure a $10 million waiver for private company 2. Company wasn't named, private company 2. Documents seen by Nationwide News confirm that private company 2 is Jatden Limited. Here's George Davis with that report.
Nationwide News has seen a document which lifts the lid on the mystery surrounding the private company, which the UHWI used its tax-exempt status to import dialysis machines for in 2024. That document says those machines and other sundry items have a cost, insurance, and a freight or CIF value of $40.5 million.
Good morning, Father Victor. Jacqueline, good morning. Now, look for the amount of money where there's something they value. And you and I, right now, if I want to send one car from England go to Jamaica, there's no tax exemption when we can get. Other than, the little returning resident thing. Where they take off one little chumpence off millions of dollars. These machine costs and these people rob the Jamaican taxpayer of millions of dollars. And that is so wrong. Ethically, that is so wrong. Legally, that is so wrong. And where is Mark Golding? Nowhere to be found. He's back in hiding.
That document we've seen highlights in red the name of the company which benefited from the UHWI's inappropriate action. That company is Jack Den. Jack Den is owned by chairman of the PNP's Region 3 and a member of parliament for East Central St. Andrew, Dennis Gordon. A version of the report which had Jack Den's name redacted was recently tabled in the House of Representatives. The report says UHWI's private wing was listed as the importers of the machines, but the UHWI was unable to present the machines, so the Auditor General's team could inspect them. According to the Auditor General's report, its team was unable to confirm whether the 12 dialysis machines for which Jack Den benefited from UHWI's tax exemption status is in fact owned by the UHWI. When our news center contacted Dennis Gordon for comment earlier Tuesday afternoon, he asked our reporter why he was calling him. When the reporter explained that the matter related to Jack Den being named in the Auditor General's report on procurement breaches at the UHWI, Dennis Gordon hung up the phone. He has not answered subsequent calls. The board of the UHWI has called in the police fraud squad to probe the issue. Dennis Gordon and the Jack Den are reportedly denying wrongdoing. Last week, PNP President Mark Golding gave this response when asked whether he had spoken to Dennis Gordon about the allegation that Jack Den was connected to the UHWI tax exemption saga.
He knows my position because my position is not new, and he agrees with my position that, chips must fall where they lie if there's anything in any kind of allegation. But at this juncture, he has maintained that he has done nothing wrong, and I have no reason to doubt that because I haven't seen any official investigation, any official report suggesting otherwise.
So, is Mark Golding saying that the Auditor General report is not official? Because I am not too certain what the opposition leader, the man that wants to be Prime Minister of Jamaica, is saying here. Is Mark Golding saying that the Auditor General report is not an official report? So, I would like to put that in a sense for me in the comment section. Is that what Mark Golding is saying? Because make me a struggle to understand what is really happening here. See?
I'm not prepared to engage in any speculative chase after any individual, which is just based on rumor or based on conjecture or based on...
So when the Auditor General say that Darrell Vaz procured the Starlink them and that was in question, that was something for Darrell Vaz to answer. And one big ola, storm to come down upon Darrell Vaz. Darrell Vaz did something illegally, and Mark Golding come out and him and say the procurement process was breached. So, ain't that the same Auditor General that said that Darrell Vaz breached the procurement process that is saying that Jack Den breached the procurement process? And I say, AG, unless they have two different AG in a Jamaica, I don't understand why people even take this brother here serious. This brother here that is called Mark Golding. Anyway, we continue to listen.
Information, the source of which we have no knowledge of.
A few weeks ago, when the issue entered the public domain, opposition spokesman on health, Dr. Alfred Dawes, moved to distance himself from Jack Den. Dr. Dawes, up until recently, was listed on Jack Den's website as a consultant to the company. He then posted a video to social media in which he declared that his designation as a consultant was an error and that, quote, I have no affiliation to Jack Den, end quote. George Davis for Nationwide News.
Thank you very much for that report there, George. We are now being joined by the immediate past president of the MSME Alliance, Donovan Wignall, for some perspectives, as well as political commentator Kevin O'Brien Chang.
So before we listen to the commentators, Caroline said him must say AG didn't call the company name. So before it was read in the media to us, Dennis Garden would have known that it is his company that is in question. And if Mark Golding say, him ask him, and he say, no, that means he would have lied to Mark Golding because the Auditor General would have must have said something to Jack Den. And they would have all known that it is Jack Den, or Jack Den is one of the companies that is in question. See, I am sure before Mark Golding came out and said there was an illicit 6, the documents was tabled in Parliament. No name was called, but Mark Golding came out and said Andrew Holness. He called Andrew Holness' name. Me no remember. See? And before nobody know that Andrew Holness was under investigation, Julian Robinson and Dayton Campbell came out and said Andrew Holness was under investigation. I am sure we remember that. See? So they would have known that it is Jack Den that is under investigation.
Welcome to Nationwide at 5.
Hi, everybody. Good evening. Good evening, listeners.
Now, before we dive into the questions, just want to give an editorial note that prior and subsequent to the airing of the story yesterday, we made several attempts to reach the MP for East Central, St. Andrew Dennis, by phone. The producer also extended an invitation to Mr. Gordon to be part of this discussion via text message. He has not responded. We also reached out to PNP Deputy General Secretary Nikisha Burchell. We got through to her assistant, Miss Burchell's assistant, after speaking.
So Nikisha Burchell holds so much big position in our party and he just come. How are you going? I first junior somebody me see hold so much senior position. She just enter the political arena. She's a brand new member of parliament, first time. She never in politics before. How she have so much experience for run so much big things in her party? What happened?
With Ms. Burchell directed us to a representative of the PNP's media unit. We called the representative. We were told to contact and again extended an invitation. We were told the PNP will not be in that discussion. The PNP will not be in that discussion, right? But let's hear from you, gentlemen. This matter has been in the public domain. Nationwide's reporting. We've been able to confirm that Jack Den is that company that is identified, I think, as entity 2. I'll go back and have a look at that. But let me hear you on it, Donovan Wignall. I'll give you the first crack at it. You heard from the opposition leader. Are you satisfied with his response? And if a sitting member of parliament company is involved in what is considered to be a breaking of the tax laws, what should be the response?
Before we hear the response, I remember when they say them with that investigate Andrew Holness, I remember when we wanted to listen to me now, The Integrity Commission gets a window of 18 months to investigate one individual. They have a window of 18 months to do an investigation, a full investigation. You remember when them say one of Andrew Holness' friend did a build one building and the building was being built illegally. You remember how fast the Integrity Commission reached up there? That report was completed in less than 6 months. When time them said the Prime Minister and him friend did a building illegally, them the time they had nothing to do with the Prime Minister. And in under 6 months, A report was compiled and an investigation completed into that, That is how fast the IC reach up there, to find out if the Prime Minister was involved, Have you guys heard anything of the IC since this Jack then thing is going on? Because I don't remember hearing anything. I don't hear nothing. And this is a member of parliament that owns Jack then.
Well, the opposition leader said, let the chips fall where they may. Meaning, wherever, whatever, let the law take its course. I think if it is proven that Jack Len, which is one of the companies, it's interesting that we're not naming the other company, which is, I think, company one. Noting that Jack Len is not the only company that with their hands in the cookie jar in this case. But the opposition leader's perspective, fully well knowing that he's in a very uncomfortable position now. I think his major statement, let the chips fall where they may, will suffice at this moment. With the early days yet, Jack Len who is named, has said that they have done nothing wrong. So when the law takes its course, and if it is proven so or otherwise, the chip will fall where they may.
But there's the investigation, and then there is the People's National Party's response to this. And of course, the chips must fall where they may in relation to the investigation. But if you're a member of your party is the chairman of Region 3, and he owns a company that basically the Auditor General is saying unlawfully benefited from the tax-exempt status. Isn't that a simple conversation to have? Did the UHWI bring any equipment into the island for your company in contravention of the law? Isn't it a simple conversation for the opposition leader, the party president, to have with Mr. Gordon, Donovan Wignall, and then the PNP can take its own actions?
I am.
They're showing the difference between Mark Golding and Andrew Holness. No. Dayton Campbell came into question. Dayton Campbell is still a functioning member of the PNP, even when he's under investigation. So that done and gone, and Dayton Campbell is still around. We're going to look on this now. Raoul Reid came into question, and the Prime Minister threw Raoul Reid, and all know Raoul Reid can't come back because the investigation have not run its course, or the court case have not run its course. So Raoul Reid is on the outside. Them accuse Andrew Wheatley, and the Prime Minister removed him until the investigation ran its course and it was found that he's innocent. That is when the Prime Minister took him back. See, we saw several things happen over the years with Mark Golding, and Mark Golding is spineless. He have no backbone. See? We see the whole thing going down at Westmoreland with DUJON'S and Julian Chang. Mark Golding is toothless. Not even that he can't sort out. See? We see this thing coming now with Garden, with Garden and Jack then, and the PNP is doing nothing about it. They are spineless. And had this been Andrew Holness, I remember when Floyd Green did mess up in the pandemic, Andrew Holness removed him from where he was. See? And when time it was realized that he never really done anything wrong, the Prime Minister take him back in the office of the Prime Minister, and Floyd Green is better off for it now. So anytime it is up to Andrew Holness, consequences are felt. See? And people are removed. We see the whole thing with Moreland Wilson down at Westmoreland. And Moreland Wilson was removed. See? Nobody in our PNP no get removed. No care what wrong they do. Nobody no get removed. They are backed by Mark Golding. And that is the difference in leadership. And had we had the PNP in power, Jamaica would have been worse off for it. We continue to listen.
Inventory of equipment that the university, any hospital has in Jamaica, and see the pace of, for example, dialysis, MRIs, X-ray machines, CAT scans, etc. If you look at the inventory of the machine and see how the public is being sent to private facilities to pay thousands of dollars for treatment or for the use of this type of service. It is so unfortunate that when we look at how the equipment is being, we look at the situation that currently exists, it is absolutely sad. And if it is that a company, any company, whether a company A, B, C, D, 1, 2, or 3, is caught doing this sort of thing, I'd say shame on them. And if it is that the company is found guilty of doing such a thing, whether it's Jacqueline or company, one who has not been named as yet, I think the full force of the law should be, levied.
All right. Let me bring Kevin O'Brien Chang into the conversation here, Mr. Wigner.
Good morning, K. Clark, Bertie, big up yourself. Ivan Hartley, big up yourself. Artnell, Dana, good morning.
Kevin O'Brien Chang, for many Jamaicans looking on, the question I just put to Donovan Wigner, look, yes, the investigation should go on, but the PNP, as one of two major political parties in the country, there is a responsibility that is on them to say, look, were you involved in this? And then take some action internally based on those conversations. Is that expecting too much, Kevin O'Brien?
I agree with everything Donovan said, but I also am very puzzled. If Nationwide could get the name of company number 2, I couldn't get the name of company number 1.
Why do you find that puzzling?
Well, I heard about 4 companies, people throwing around numbers, but if there's a number 2, there must be a number 1. And how is it possible to get number 2 and not number 1? Why? By the same method you can get number 2, you should be able to get number 1.
So what Kevin O'Brien Changa say? At number 2, we want to talk about. Number 2 is owned by a PNP. And I'm not going close, confident. And that we interested about. We will deal with 1 and 3 and 4 after. We are dealing with 2 now, Kevin O'Brien Chang. That we are telling.
All right. And I would suppose, well, I'm not on the newsroom floor. I'm not involved with the newsroom processes, but I gather investigations work like that. You find out information in bits and pieces sometimes. That's how it works.
Well,
you don't get a whole slice. And I'm not attempting to speak for the newsroom. I'm just saying, as a journalist that has been involved with investigative journalism for many years, sometimes this is how you get information in bits and pieces.
Well, what I find interesting,
and it doesn't mean that the investigation is over.
Well, I'm not asking questions, and I'm not casting any aspersions.
I'm responding generically as well because, like I said, I'm not involved in the investigation.
Well, fine, and I accept your answer. What I find very interesting in this whole thing, I would expect the GLP to be hammering and said, Mr. Gordon must resign. I don't hear any.
It seems we've Kevin, there seems to be a distortion on your line. Kevin, are you still with us? Kevin O'Brien Chang? Donovan Wigner, are you still with us?
Yeah, I'm still here, Darwin, and I agree 100% with Kevin. If it is that we have other companies involved, it is a curious thing to be hitting the one company. I mean, hit them, yes. But I know that Nationwide is extremely creative. And if it is that they can find out one company, the other 3 companies, I'm sure they have the information on it. And it does look a little lopsided for you to only be talking about one company and leaning to that one company when 3 or 4 other companies are involved in this very exciting crime. So
And I guess the powers that be at Nationwide, who are in charge of the newsroom, will have to respond to that. But I think I've missed a break, so let me take the break right now, gentlemen. And when I come back, what I want to hear from you, we've lost Kevin and Branch, and hopefully he'll be back after the break. Should the Auditor General have named these companies so we wouldn't have to be in this type of situation? That's the question I'd love to hear a response from both of you when we come back from this break. Soon come.
Sherry, big up yourself. Livingston, big up yourself. Steve, Lisa Hall, Shania, Larry, big up yourself. Good morning.
Staying with us, we have with us Wignall and Kevin O'Brien Chang. Is Kevin O'Brien Chang back with us? Kevin, are you there?
Yes, I say I
we lost you there.
Mr. Gordon must resign. I don't hear that. I tell you what, I'm a very cynical person when it comes to political hullabaloo in Jamaica, you know. Wasn't it the same Jack then that the building they built wasn't approved, didn't have proper approvals, right? And then suddenly, a couple of days later, it's been regularized by a KSAMAC that is both JLP and PNP members. No outcry from the JLP members. And I keep going back to this reality of Jamaica since 1990, not a single Jamaican politician has been charged for a crime, much more convicted. I look around the world, I see presidents,
since when, Kevin?
To jail, and I'm saying this because
since when?
When everything's happened since 1990, Jack Smith in 1990, the last
man. No man, someone else has been charged since Jack Smith, man. Remember the light bulb saga.
Well, nobody arrested, nobody convicted of anything.
No, charged that went before the court. Right. Charged that went before the court.
Nobody had gone to jail in Jamaica, no politician in 35 years. And I'm very cynical because whenever something happens, I am convinced the whole system is set up to they circle the wagons, both JLP and PNP. They both protect each other. They chat big, you know. And this and that. But when push comes to shove, they get quiet. Look how quiet the JLP is on this thing. No, Mr. Gordon must resign. Why? We know why, because we hear other names.
But Marlon Morgan called for his resignation from the PAAC, I think, you know.
Very, very muted. Mr. Marlon is not that MP. Anyway, all I'm saying is, we Jamaicans are very cynical because we know they circle the wagon. They chat loud outside, but behind the doors, you know the old joke? Room for rent apply within. When I run out, then you run in. Right? We are cynical.
I'm in agreement with Kevin O'Brien Chang on this, in this instance. However, I know that the party is remaining silent because the PNP is imploding on themselves. They can't help themselves, my people, because they're too corrupt. And the JLP is busy leading the nation. But I agree with Kevin O'Brien Chang that they are too silent on these issues. And they must come up and speak up and make the chip lie where they may. If JLP is involved, make them face the consequences as well. This is how people will recognize true leadership and say, all right, for them people they involved, but they lock them up too. See? So we can trust them. JLP need to get with them kind of things there. My people. We see people are going to prison left, right, and center, especially in Europe. A regular will lock up politician in Europe. See? We don't see them something that happen nowhere in the Caribbean and in Africa. I lie, they lock up people in Africa too. But, you know, we need to sort out these things.
Right, gentlemen, we're running out of time, and there's some other questions I need to get across. Hear me, Kevin. One second. We're fast running out of time, and there's some other questions. Should the Auditor General, I'd love to hear from both of you, beginning with you, Donovan Wignall, should the Auditor General have named the companies in her report?
Of course. Absolutely, yes. Absolutely, yes. Why not? And then we wouldn't have this problem with, you know, people being cynical. We know exactly who did what. And just let the chips fall. Let the chips fall to everybody.
I hear you, Kevin O'Brien Chang. Is there any reasonable argument that can be put forward as to why she didn't name them? Kevin O'Brien Chang?
As I said, I am a very cynical person. They protect each other. I believe it.
Including the Auditor General?
The whole system, man. No. The whole system is designed and nobody got jail. That is my take. 35 years. You look around the world, presidents, prime ministers go in jail left, right, and center. 36 years, nobody in Jamaica. What the most honest politicians in the world? Otherwise, or our politicians are geniuses. They get the integrity commission, 2 million a year, that can't convict nobody.
By conviction record, you might be onto something there. Gentlemen, final one because we're out of time. We're less than a minute. Let's talk about the opposition spokesman. His name was involved in the company. He says it was an error that his name was involved in the capacity that was online. I gather they eventually removed it. Is the allegation moved? Is photo from the Jack Den website? Do you think the opposition spokesperson should have recused himself given that interaction with the company? Kevin, you first, and then we close it down about week now.
Yeah, of course, we know what should have been done. Is the JLP balling? Is the JLP hammering Mr. Doll? We know what should be done enough. But it's never done, and it's only done half-heartedly. And we know what's going to happen.
All right.
When the building wasn't approved, it was regularized very quickly. But maybe the saving grace, Mocha don't take no charge. Mocha, it doesn't have any fear of favor, and we might see something because Mocha is the only integrity entity in the country that does anything proper.
All right. So let me do you think the opposition spokesman should have recused himself from this, given the fact that in any shape or form his name was involved with this company?
No, I mean, being a consultant to a company does not say that you're associated with the company legally. The opposition spokesman, I think.
What do you know? What do you mean being a consultant? Isn't that an association?
If I'm a consultant to Nationwide and Nationwide gets into problems.
And someone calls you to speak on an issue involving Nationwide, you'd have to say, I have an involvement with Nationwide. That's what a conflict is.
No, I don't think so. I think being the opposition spokesman and the matter, just on the whole matter with the drill and all of that, leave him make him speak. At the end of the day, I think everybody should hear who are the other companies. And
exactly, that's the question I want to know. Who are the other companies? That's more important than the politics, internal politics. Who are the other companies?
Indeed. And gentlemen, I'm in agreement. The names of the other companies should be known. And I also agree that the Auditor General should have named them. We have to leave it there. We're out of time.
You know, me find intriguing, my people. The PNP would also know the names of the other three companies. Why aren't they calling them? Because we know so them never gonna take a rap or take a heat. They don't want the heat off of them. So them know the name of the other companies. But why them nah call it? Why Mark Golding call press conference and call the names of the other three companies? No, I am in agreement with these gentlemen. Politics is what it is, my people. It is filled with tribalism. You know, it's filled with a lot of stuff in it. You know, and politicians protect politicians' best interests. We must move our country to a position. This system is not new, you know. Andrew come see it and Mark come see it. But here they have a chance to do something about it and to change it. And I would implore my government, you know, whoever is involved in this on the Jamaica Labour Party side, it is an ethical, you know, and it is an integrity issue. And we must send them out to the slaughter. You know, make the chips lie where they may. We don't protect nobody. See? What we need persons to come now and say, listen, I got so and so and I got these benefits. We are sorry. Here is the check that is going to go. Forgive us. See? Everybody knows there's medical equipment shortage in Jamaica, or was. See? And that is primarily the reason why, you know, I did not call for the destruction of the building when they were building it. You know, when they found out that Jack Den was completed and without permits in England, then and tear it down. Then I rip it down, get bulldozer and tear it down because not get the proper permit for Billy. See, so then and tear down. What they should have not done in the KSAMC is to allow Dennis Garden to get the permits and to open this building. They should have either stop it, put a stop order upon it, and mash it down. Make him have a Billy back, or, then left it for years until somebody can get proper planning feet and build up it. See, that is what should have happened, my people. So, in that case, JLP holds half a KSAMC because we are the deputy mayor and they have the mayor. There's no way we should have agreed to give him the permits because he was in charge of the permits anyway. See? And he never followed the proper procedures. So some of them little things that will make problem for ourselves in a government. Some of them problem that will make issues for ourselves. If there's an issue and, not to implicate the government and to make people feel like the government is corrupt. Whenever we find any of our people that is behaving in a corrupt manner, we must send them out as a lamb to the slaughter, my people. I want to talk some more about Mark Golding and his leadership of the PNP. Now, some of us have been around for a long time. Many longer than I have, two times my lifetime. And many would have known the PNP under both Manleys, Pattison, Portia. They would have also known Jamaica under Shearer, Sangster, Buster, Siaga, Bruce, Anjo. I don't believe that any of those times and that any of the other leaders of the People's National Criminal Organization have been so turbulent as now, for lack of better word. And anybody know what turbulence is? If you have flight in a plane and you hit turbulence, that is a scary moment. The PNP under the leadership of Mark Golding, I would say have moved. In general terms, I would say they moved to the left, but they have not moved to the left, my people. The left is somewhere where dignity is still involved. The PNP have moved to the gutter under the leadership of Mark Golding. Mark Golding is a criminal enabler. We know that the PNP is a party that hugs up criminal. Good morning, TT Corner. Guys, want to go over TT channel and follow TT. TT is a up and coming, blogger herself. And if you can go over there and show her some love and support, just click on TT Corner, go over there and subscribe to our channel. See? Big up on yourself for that. Sonia, big up yourself. Sonia Walters. Michelle Rowe, big up yourself. Under the leadership of old Bucky Swamps, the PNP have moved to the hog pen. Every single thing that the PNP do stinks with hypocrisy. Everything that they do, it stink with criminality. Every part of Jamaica that you go to, where the PNP is involved and is in charge, it is physically stink. For example, the Savlamar Market. For example, part of Spanish Town Road. For example, part of the KSAMC. Anywhere, Hanover and other places, anywhere you go where the PNP is, the place is derelict, it is desolate, it is underdeveloped, and rampant corruption is blatant. Now, am I saying that there's not corruption in the Labour Party? Anywhere you find mankind, you will always find corruption. It is in our nature. What we do have in the Labour Party is a leader that will hold you accountable. We saw it with Dalrymple. We saw it with George Wright. We saw it with Wheatley. We saw it with Raoul Reed. We saw it with Robert Montague. A leader that will hold you accountable. We saw it with Floyd Green. What we are not seeing is the same example being set over El Buckchopper and the mafia. We don't see it over there. The PNP is a breeding ground and a cesspit, a cess tank. Hell, we see them even hold Warmington accountable as well. See that Warmington have to behave himself now because Andrew Holness have taken initiative to hold his members to the high standard. If there's even an investigation going on in somebody, they have to step aside until after that investigation. That is why Marissa Dalrymple had to step aside until that investigation was completed and the outcome, then she could come back. But it would not have been a distraction for the government and for the PNP to use as a beating stick. That is proper leadership. I, as a Jamaican, have no lot and part with the PNP and their leader, Bucky Massa. Neither him, in big gut, nor in too big titty them. I have no lot and part with him. He's not a leader, and he's here to tear down our democracy. He's here to tear down Jamaica. And it is evident in his action. Every single thing that he does, it is something negative to impact Jamaica negatively. You don't have to like me, you know. You don't have to like me. I like PNP them. We love talk about this and talk about that. You don't have to like me. But one thing I gotta tell you now, are the truth. Mark Golding is not a leader. You know why Mark Golding is not a leader? If my best friend killing wife, I would look deep within myself as a father myself that loves my children. And I would look into myself and say, you know, so them picking here, they're not going to have their mother. They're not going to have a mother's love. That is something that would have affected me internally. Up till this day, I wear wearing black this morning to stand in solidarity with Melissa Silvera. Up till now, Mark Golding have not condemned Jyland Silvera's action. That by extension tells me that Mark Golding is an enabler. He's inveigled and he supports a friend that is a murderer. And he has instructed, I was told, that he has instructed his MPs and shadow cabinet not to say anything about the Jyland Silvera case. Mark Golding, who is standing with his friend there, who killed his wife, murdered his wife, and is now facing courts. And Mark Golding, who is aspiring to be a leader, have told his members of parliament to stay mum on this issue and not to utter any statement in support of his friend, because I can't say nothing else. I have that. Jyland Silvera is still a member, a card-carrying member of the People's National Criminal Organization, even till this day. And it is them that is protecting him. It is the systems that they have put in place over the years. It is working in their interest now. I hope the Labour Party get a 4th term in government. And when we get the 4th term in government, we must walk from the length and breadth of Jamaica, from Negril Point to Morant Point. And every single member of the People's National Criminal Organization that holds a management position in Jamaica must be removed. They have a system and it is operating and working well for them. They have embedded their agents and their surrogates in the system for how long? And until we remove them, we'll never get a clean Jamaica. Never. Because they will be there working against the upliftment and the best interests of the people of Jamaica. And remember, I'm telling you, every single time this country move 10 steps forward, it is under the Jamaica Labour Party. And every time this country take 50 steps backward, it is under the People's National Criminal Organization. But none have we seen that is as bad as old Bucky Swamps here. None have we seen that is as bad as El Buck Chapel here. None have we seen as bad as Bucky Massa here. It is an absolute disgrace that this is what the PNP can show down upon black Jamaican people. It is a travesty against the Jamaican people that this is what the PNP have to offer us as leadership. A man that cannot condemn a murderer. A man that wants to go up for leadership and cannot condemn a murderer in our country. Absolute disgrace. The phone lines are open, Donovan. So feel free to call in if you want to. See, the phone lines are open, guys. Me just up meet. So if you did a call before, call back. See, you weren't open before. Me just up meet. See, so if you did a call me back. Donovan?
Yes, Doja.
Man, my boss.
So you're there on the live, yeah. But I listen to Nationwide this morning. Where, the DPP sent out why she agreed the man for manslaughter.
Not that I know of. Not that I know of.
Later I have to get it off a Nationwide this morning for 7:20.
Yeah.
They have the whole thing where she writes out say, why she don't have no evidence if it got caught? She not gonna have no evidence to convict the man for murder. So basically she have to take the liquor plea card. No evidence, but it's just the evidence that they have are basically the gun.
Yes.
Then I have no evidence, that's why she take. I don't understand.
So let me ask you a question. Donovan. If you catch me, if the police catch me with a gun out the road, right? That means that I know enough evidence to send me a prison. Because if this gun is fired and murder somebody, and you have you have a bullet, you have the fragments from a bullet, you have the ballistics, and you have the body. See? That would have mean say if you catch me with a gun out the road, that is not enough evidence for you to lock me up and send me a prison, because if the ballistics is not evidence, if the fragments from the body match the ballistic and that are not evidence, and you have the body, the wife is dead, she's buried. If that are not enough evidence to charge him for murder, then why we lock up people in Jamaica?
Well, to what she said, what the man said, the evidence where the brother come in with say, my wife would have argument, like, so the kids then testify, say, yes, I made have argument the night, I get ignorant of the human, basically.
Then that is still murder. That is still murder.
But they don't have evidence. So they don't say this is a more safe chance than got court. If it got court, then still have to charge him for manslaughter. Then can't charge him for murder. Yeah, listen later, then later when you come back by live, we can talk about
Yeah, man, we're going to break it down later.
Yeah, man.
The person with that is what I wanted to talk about. When I hear the DPP no is saying part of her statement no is that they didn't have enough evidence. So my thing is, what about the bullet fragment? Because I hear it's bullet fragment. All I've been listening to the media, I've heard is bullet fragment.
Dennis, let me just say this, Dennis. Let me say this. If they convicted Noel Maitland and one drip of blood and circumstantial evidence and then found him guilty, how is it that they can't try Julian Sylvia or Jylan Sylvia when they have a gun, they have a fragments from the gun, it match a ballistic, the gun barrel was tampered with, the crime scene itself was tampered with, the woman's body was tampered with. How they can convict Maitland for circumstantial evidence, meaning enough physical evidence. See? And they have physical evidence and I said they can't convict murder. Something not right. And the Jamaican people must talk up and speak up about it.
Reggie, let me tell you something. Come I hear all of this. I hear all of this. I notice them a baba weave every minute. You realize it, now come out tight. Here Shane said it a few days ago, you know. Shane said it a few days ago that he must not now come out. And this is the reality. And I'm telling you, you see these prominent people that is in our society, these are the people that is destroying our society. Because if you are telling me that so much evidence is there, steering these leaders and them say no evidence, them couldn't find any evidence. They said they couldn't find any evidence because when where the house is concerned, where the crime scene is concerned, they couldn't find any evidence to convict the man.
Okay.
A fool and take the whole of it.
Okay, so
yeah, man.
We said no evidence.
Fool and take the whole of it.
We said no evidence that they didn't find because the crime scene clean up. Okay. But
all right, fine. Them not have none. So what about the firstly, the man refused to give him firearm over to the police. If it wasn't for the firearm licensing authority, we, the public, would not know that gun was tampered with. We would not know that because they altered the barrel of the gun. By altering the barrel of the gun, it means that they try to change to say, well, the bullet and a film bullet from the gun, shoot her. And you want to tell me, so with all of that, you tell me, and when you match the shot from the gun with the bullet fragments from the body, you want to tell me, say, that not conclusive enough? Didn't they swab his hand? Didn't they swab the man's hand? To say that the man fired? Because when you fire a gun, you know that gun powder ready.
They don't need to swab in hand because the ballistic match a film weapon. Unless you're going to say I want to pit and kill them.
Yes.
But yeah, you can't say somebody else fire the gun here. That means so a film gun really means them kill her. Somebody else could have killed her.
So listen to this now.
But,
even with that, you know, and that would have been a next charge because he's supposed to be secure a firearm. So if somebody could have get access to it for killing wife, that would have been another charge for him as well. See? Now, when I want to ask, a request I don't want to ask this morning, see, is, all right, we say, then couldn't swab in hand because a month after he get arrested. See? So that the evidence they would have gone. Right? What people is saying is that, Dennis, that them can't trust no juror if you not get pay off and them that could have free him. So what is the point of using those systems then? Why can't we have them? sense we discontinue, because if we can't trust jurors to do their jobs, we might as well discontinue that. Duyen, hang up Duyen, make a other to your call. Just hang up on me other to your call.
But Dujon, in this politics, politics right here now, you think you're going to find 7 JLP alone for the jury to convict this one?
Me hear what people are saying, but we shouldn't have to look on it the way there. But me understand. See? Whether you're PNP or JLP, you're supposed to do your job as a juror. And if it is found that you did not, prison is supposed to miss you.
We know that, but you know, people steering in politics where them are going, oh, we're not going to send through one, but if it was a JLP man, them would have sent him, but if it's a PNP man, them have said, no, we're not going to send them one. And vice versa, the JLP, that maybe do the same thing too.
Yeah, man. Hold on, Donovan. Go ahead, Duyen. Morning.
Yo, I'm going. Bless up. Long time.
Yeah, man.
Still there. Kind of the work still, but you see, we are overlooking one thing with this thing.
Yes.
So when you have an attorney that knows how to manipulate the law,
yeah,
I can dip in the magic hat and come out with a rabbit.
Yeah.
That is just what happened. You automatically force the hands of the law into doing something that you don't want them to do. Because from the man come out and is pleading, is saying that, okay, guess what happened? Yeah, me kill my wife, but I did not kill her. It was not malice, it was not with malice aforethought. Because murder, has to be with malice aforethought. It has to be premeditated. It has to be planned. You have to prove that it was something that was planned before. So he's coming out and he's saying that I did not plan to kill her. It just happened. Kind of understand? Kind of get the gist of what I say?
Yeah, man, me understand.
So that kind of changed the whole context of the case. Because if the man say, I did not do it, I did not willfully kill my wife, it was an accident, because that is basically what he's saying. In my plea say it was momentary insanity. No.
Let's ask the question. I've asked the question. I'm not cutting my boss, but let me say this. I've asked the question. Did they do a psychiatric evaluation for this man? Because this man has had previous run-ins with I don't know if you remember the issue with his neighbor, which he had shot the dog, he had shot the neighbor's dog. And he was still allowed to have a firearm. No, Bridget. Me look down the road. When this man, we don't know how much year this man is going to be given. Number one. But this man should not be allowed to have another firearm for the rest of his life again. That's why.
No, he not go. He can't because he plead guilty and based on the fact that he plead.
Well, if he can manipulate the law, I wouldn't be surprised if he get a hold another firearm again. I wouldn't be surprised, but that is just down the road.
And the other thing you have to look at, the reason why the man is saying that he killed his wife is because of her blaming him for the death of their son. So trauma comes into play. So
no. Let me ask the question, Donovan. Now, if you or I, who wasn't Jail and Sylvia, had the same incident, and I said, it was a moment of insanity, and more I could have blamed me for killing my son. Say I kill my son. Tell me why you think the outcome of this would have been.
Somebody have an extreme
Anybody who listen to the program, just turn down on a device. See? No, me.
No, I mean.
Yeah, turn on your device.
Turn off the device.
Yes.
Repeat again, DUJON.
So what me I say is, let the roles reverse. Say you or me kill for your wife.
Yeah.
And we are claim says a moment of insanity. What you think would happen to it?
It depends if you have a good liar. If you can afford a top liar like Champion here, we want name. One of the best in Jamaica.
Hey, Benji, no go. me, I tell you, say no go. You see, none of them liars we want to give president to. None of them no good as I want to talk. The whole of them sit down and them know say the whole system of doing things, them know how to get around a long time. See, anytime somebody come up to change anything, where them know say them have to go fight. You see how they come out and lick out against it. We know how this thing did go. Anybody that you think it did go different from where it is right now, they're fooler than themselves fool. They tell you that. Because everybody they hear how that lady they talk about how them deal with case. See, and from that lady come out and say that thing publicly and it go viral over the whole world. We not see no judge, no liar, nobody get all accountable for it. So we know say so then sit down and cook up for them little thing. They're not good as own talk about liar, good and this and that. The whole of them cook up things and do what them do.
Remember? No, it's not about being good enough. It's not about being good enough. It's about what is written in law and being able to use the law to work for you. So it's not about cooking up or being something or being good enough. The law is there and the law is straightforward. And you have to know the loopholes in the law.
And that's what me just saying it. Me just say them just know the old law, then them know say they don't want to change to the law because that them are use and do what them are do all along. So what the difference I try to say? Everybody knows say the Jamaica law crumbled long time from 1960.
Yeah, so it's not. So that's what I'm saying. It's not necessarily that it's a thing that is. It's not necessarily a thing that is cooked up.
They know what it is.
It's cooked up.
What it is?
Because
tell me what it is. Tell me what it is.
Because if I'm here United 2 years and me and you can plead guilty the same way to manslaughter. And when we plead guilty to manslaughter, we have take a chance. It's how the chance I go play out 2 weeks.
So let me ask you a question.
It is open to everybody.
Let me ask you a question. A man kill my father. In my anger. That would mean that me get angry, me insane, or me go murder him and him people them in a revenge. Because it is a moment of insanity. Should I not be able to plead for manslaughter now and say that them kill my father and me did angry about it? It is a moment of insanity. Shouldn't I be able to claim manslaughter now?
Yeah, man. No. You can't claim the same thing.
You see when a brother here I say, you say for the president they must set. Them me tell you that. Any man can get up any day and say woman provoke him and kill that, you know.
Yeah, man.
But bro, that's how everything, you know. That's how everything, you know. I just show this is a high profile case. That's why we're here about it. This time every day at Jamaica.
Man, I gotta just get up now and say, yo, why the wife provoke me or what have you, and it's going to happen. This is the beginning of what is to come. You understand?
All right. So when we go in a little, I think the definition for murder is taking the life of a human being with malice aforethought. Meaning that you sit down, you think about it, you're planning. Right? So if the court can prove that you plan and take somebody's life, it is difficult for you to come and say a manslaughter. Remember, you know, all I want to do, you know, is do it after and killing wife.
So let me ask you a question now. So the tampering of the weapon, he did that after in killing wife, right?
Yes. So if he had done that before in killing wife,
the cleaning up of the crime scene.
So,
that he
after.
See?
Mm-hmm.
That would tell me that it is murder. See me because much if I cover up in tracks. If I accident me kill my wife, by me go run, go call ambulance, me go call, whoa, you know, go help me shoot my wife by accident.
But covering up your tracks doesn't mean that you plan to do it.
Okay. So you have to
after covering up your tracks mean that after the reality hits you and you realize what you just do, you have to try to hide it. Now, if he had, let's say, he changed the barrel of the gun,
yes,
killing wife, and then putting back a different barrel, putting back the barrel, the original barrel of the gun, and that was found out. Say, into all of that, it shows that he had planned to kill his wife because he makes preparation to do it and he carry out the act. So he cannot prove manslaughter. He cannot say manslaughter. He cannot say he did not plan it. He did not do it with malice, without malice aforethought.
And DUJON,
yes,
when you asked about he clean up the crime scene, this man and me the thing where DPP saying now was about cleaning up crime scene in night, you know. Instead they man come and pronounce the woman dead. And when they go to the autopsy, that's when they find out the woman. They say the woman was in that bloody clothes and whatever, sitting up. She get shot in her leg and then something. She never get no shot in her private part of people say. In her leg and must be her side and something like that. She never said nothing about no cleaning up no crime scene and some tamper with crime scene, you know.
I believe I watched something on the TV, you know, where I saw they said the crime scene was clean up and new furniture brought in and stuff. You know, I don't know. Go ahead, Nicola.
Yeah, all of that is beside the point. You know who? One sec, ma'am. You know who figured up the whole case? You said the police will go up on the scene.
Yeah.
The police will go up on the scene. And him caused the case to be in the state that it is in now. Because he did not do his job. If the police that went initially had done his job and done his job how it is prescribed to be done, all of this would not happen. There would not be so much loopholes.
I think that officer might have been inexperienced, you know, probably. Yeah.
I want a sergeant of police.
Well, if a sergeant of police is supposed to have experience, you know. Well, maybe that's where a cook-up start. Go ahead, Nicola.
What I'm saying, this is,
good morning, Nicola.
in my opinion, we only have 24 hours in a day.
Good morning, Nicola.
And they use less than a day to get all of this job done. This cannot be a job that is not premeditated, because the cleaning up and all that took place, like the lady that went on the scene where she said a little bit of blood, that means they never saw, that means the cleanup took place, and the involvement of so many others. It's evidence that this murder was this crime was premeditated. You understand? So for a person to say, and then the other thing where he's saying that ever since his son died over 7 years now. So you're saying that number one, she would be even worse off in the first year than how she is now, without a doubt. because when the incident just occurred, that's where the more, you blame this and blame that, and a year after you probably continue. But if you live with her, because I'm not a lion, I could have questioned him and wind him up. Trust me, because if you live with her for 1 year, 2 years after the death of your child, what makes you think that you had to use a gun in the 7th year or the 6th year? What makes you think you need to use a gun? You could have left the marital home.
Let me play devil's advocate.
Good morning, Nicola.
You have do you have a child, ma'am? Do you have a child?
Yes, I do.
Okay. No. If you were to lose your child under suspicious circumstances, and you believe that the father of your child could have prevented the death of your child, would you forgive the father?
I might not. But since you're saying you're playing devil's advocate, I'm going to say no. I wouldn't forgive him.
Okay. So my mother always tell me one thing. Your belly pain. Your belly pain, and because of your belly pain, you have a bond that no matter what, you will always have that bond. And you will always be missing that child. So if 10 years even pass, the woman,
well, for me,
resentment. She may have resentment for the
that's what I'm saying. If I'm resenting you from the start, I'm resenting you from the start, and I keep that resentment for 6 years. What is there for 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years? You did not pull the trigger. I could understand if in the immediate, like you're saying, you don't know how to deal with it and you panic, but you have been dealing with it for 6 years or 5 years. There's no reason there, because it's something that you have been tolerating and you've been dealing with it. So the only thing that would be different for you to leave the marital home, it shows that there's no need for a firearm or for a weapon or something to be involved, because you have been dealing with her, with that wound, with that whatever for 5 years, 6 years, 1 year, 2 years, go right up until the 7th year. You choose to throw her down for that. That doesn't make sense. That doesn't add up. That's what I'm saying. So it's not the fact that I will not my child, it's the fact that the way I've been coping with it, nagging you, saying this, saying that, you have been coping with it for 6 years, 7 years, but now you think you're not going to go further, which all it takes for that long is for you to leave the marital home. It's not for you to turn a weapon on her.
Let me ask something. All right. The colleagues that were supportive of him during that phase when the murder was committed, couldn't he find one or two of those same individuals to say, listen, I am having this challenge with my wife, and I need to seek some professional help? Because I'm sure from my understanding, I understand that there were 2 doctors that were there.
So,
based on what I heard, Mr. Dawes, allegedly, I heard that he was there. He went there too. The Mr. Dawes, him went there. Allegedly.
What I'm trying to do is
him have resource at his disposal. I mean, you as what the lady said, that he was with her for over 6 years, and you're saying to me that
after the fact,
during that period, because I know she was based on the whole thing, she was going through a process of grieving. So what I'm saying, couldn't he seek to find some person that was there who could have supported him to help him to deal with the situation.
So let me ask one question to answer your question now. What is one of the main reasons why men commit suicide?
Because they don't talk about their problems.
Okay. And one of the main reasons why man commits suicide is relationship problems. You know the proverbial verb that we have, that the straw that breaks the camel's back.
Yeah.
All right. So
I think personally, I think you're just, I mean, you're trying everything. In my opinion, you're just trying to justify this man's action.
No,
because
I am
everything
not
that you say, you always say it on the behalf of him.
Hold on. I am not trying to justify. I'm not trying to
every time you say something and we move that barrier out of the way, you try to put another one. Because what we're saying, it doesn't mean that he's not. Let me tell you this. Let me tell you what will put clarity to this. This man, at his leisure, has all the amenities and ways to get help. These persons, we're talking about persons that have affordability. They have access to things. They have access to that. They have access to this. You understand what I'm saying? So these are not persons who are talking about poor that cannot afford, they can't afford this and they can't afford that. No, we're not talking about that type of person. Come on. We're not talking about those type of persons.
But listen. I am talking about it from a point of view of, how should I put it now?
Well, the view that you're making, the view that I see that you're off, it means that anyone can do it and it just works.
No, I am not defending. Hold on. I am not defending.
The law is the law, and it doesn't matter if it sounds wrong or right or whatever to we. Whatever the law review is that what it is. But this is what I say. The whole thing about law and this and that and whatever, these people already fix where them are fixed in.
Oh, you know, I wanted to say something on this point. I never remember. Did you know that the laws are amended? The laws that are in, they were given to us by lawyers of this nation. So you're right when you say that they will do what to benefit, because they created the laws and they go around it because they know they have the loophole. It's not because they're great lawyers. They amend it. When the government need amendment, it's these same lawyer he look towards
to do it. So there's always a loophole. They
always leave a loophole for themselves.
There is always a loophole in it.
So what we might have to do, the government needs to get some persons that are, I don't know, just like how them ask for help for the IC, for the government. We need to get some people, like some serious persons overseas, and we use them, pay them for them job, and them gone back to them countries. Right, this up. Because you name it, the Champagne, he was a part of the law amendment and all of that. They were all a part of it. They're all a part of it.
Yeah, but
so that's why we can't. It's like.
That's what me said to the bridge, you know, long. Me say they make the law, you know, how they can win it. They not good.
It's not good. Them good.
If you
just leave the loophole for themselves and they use it.
If you put the with internationally, them little idiot they could never
couldn't. You're so right. They couldn't.
Hello, let me tell you the loophole. The loophole is a simple thing in the way a definition was written. In law, the definition of murder in law is the loophole. It says that if you sit down and premeditate something, it is murder. So if you plan something, if you plan it and you carry it out, it's murder. If you do it in the heat of the moment, it's manslaughter. Once you don't plan it, it's
Virgin, you want me to tell you how refined murder is in the British law? You know, a premeditated murder you can contact a premeditated murder in a Britain within seconds. What you think just before you do what you do can be classified as premeditated murder yourself.
So me know you go.
Yes.
Yeah, Jamaica.
But that's how it should be.
Listen, for instance, you know, the premeditated murder in this country is that if you fire the gun once, what were you thinking before you fire the second shot is premeditated.
Because
but I can also say I can also say I did not stop to think. I just acted.
No, you have to think. But listen to me. Listen to me now.
I can tell you can't tell them listen thing they're Jamaica,
listen
but
to
if
me
you
now,
over here so you can't tell them that.
Well, now listen to me now.
Well, let me say that,
Nicola,
you know,
hold on, Nicola.
yeah.
If you fire one shot.
All right, let me give you a scenario.
Hold on, man. If you
fire
fire one shot and your wife bleed out, then we can say maybe. But if you fire 2 and 3, I say you never think.
All right. Let me give you a scenario. A policeman out on the road and he decides to stop a man and search the man. When he stop a man, he see man reaching and wave and I come up. Kill the man. When you ask the policeman, why he fire so much shot? He must tell you, say to the man, I come up with something.
Yeah, but that's a different scenario.
And from the same man, hold on.
That's what I'm saying, Dujon. If we're gonna look at it that way, we're not going to get nowhere. Because guess what?
Give me a second, because you see when the brother did for a little while, the brother, we think you're a little bit knowledgeable when you just start that. But you have to understand, a policeman is trained to defend himself. And he's trained to shoot until the target is eliminated. He's not committing a crime.
No, that is not what a policeman. That is not what a policeman is trained to do.
What
a policeman is trained that once he takes his firearm out of his holster, he must have justified cause to use that firearm.
But you
a man coming out of his a man coming out of his waist doesn't give me justified cause. Why does it give me justified cause? The man could only take out a phone.
No,
justified cause. Right. I haven't listen, miss. I haven't seen anything from that man that is of an imminent danger to me. I am only going off of perception. I am perceiving that he has
you choose to stand up for that man, but you're trying to beat around the bush for this lady. Let me tell you where I would say it's premeditated. The kids were there. The kids were there. He took them in. They heard something. They came out. Listen to me. Listen, there's more than enough evidence based on what? Because it's not like he did what he did and the kids weren't there. And I mean, this is a man. So to be honest, on the need for God, enroll him in the asylum, then make him stay at Ward 21 because it must be. Not only
that, he's a farmer lawmaker. Remember, he's a farmer lawmaker.
Exactly. You see,
he would have been. There's a section in the Constitution that said there is the right to life.
No, but when you just say
and I'm looking at
a felony in front of children, is another thing.
Exactly. His kids were there. His kids were there, so what this man was thinking, it better him say him is a madman. Him is a full-blown madman. And he needs to enroll in the asylum. He's not supposed to come out on the road, period.
Guys,
because this man has no, he had no heart. He not no remorse.
That's why the man, that's why the man plead guilty. That's why the man plead. That's the reason why the man pleads guilty to manslaughter.
No, that is the reason why we are saying it's premeditated, because him look through all of those. He looks through all of them. He looks through all of them and all of that. Because even when the child heard the shot and the kids came out after the first one, the kids came out. The kids came out because I heard that the child said they heard the noise. Came out. So the kids coming out did not stop you from putting the 2, the 3, or the 4.
Hold on, Nicola. No, me want ask doing this. Now them say one of the shot was fired in her leg, one in her torso or somewhere. And where other one fire?
Me don't know where other one fire.
Okay, so let us say that she input one in her torso then. One in her body part. They might argue and input one in her body part. How you justify the other 2? What she get?
All right. Remember, you know. All right, let me make this clear. Nicola, I am not defending the man's action.
But all that you're doing, that is...
No, just hold on. Just hold on and make explain something. I am not defending the man's action. I could never defend the man's action. All right? What I'm trying to do is to give you guys a different perspective on things. I'm trying to give you guys a perspective from the point of view of the law that is there. It's not about
that's where I'm coming from as well. I'm coming from the point where I'm showing you it is definitely premeditated. Because first and foremost, if you make a call after doing that,
you would
have called for somebody to help you.
Hold on, but this is the thing I'm saying. Everything that we are talking about, the actions that he did, we are talking about actions after the fact. Premeditated means actions taken before the fact to do something.
Let me answer the right question. Them. Me answer the question them during the commission, right?
Mm-hmm.
You need to break down premeditation between the first and the last shot.
How can you? All right. So how can you prove that it was not a?
How can we? If that's the case, how can we prove that? Did have a conversation and get back?
Make him finish. Go ahead.
Hold on. All right. So, bam, the first shot is in the leg. Yeah. And 30 seconds pass. Yeah. A minute pass. Bam, the second shot in a torso.
Yeah.
Right then and there, you have a premeditated act for the second shot. Because he had time to stop, think about what he was doing. Right? No, if the shot is a bomb, a minute pass a bomb, and 30 seconds pass another. He had ample time to think about what he was doing because he had
No.
Hold on, man. Hold on.
Premeditation is within shot.
Hold on, make him finish, no Shane. We can analyze it after.
Hold on, no.
Just listen. Yeah.
So, no. If it's a bam, 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 you get you see the difference of the action. I am heated. Me and you argue, I'm heated. I me take up the knife and me go so bam, bam, bam in you. And after me do it, me realize, right here, that what me just do. And then me see you on the ground there. I struggle for life. And me just go so wham and cut your throat. I murder in the quiet. Me kill you, me willfully kill you.
But the point of view, the point of view where me I come from. Hold on. The point of view where me I come from now. Now that he shoot his wife after the fact, and he shoot his wife and everything. Why you not call the ambulance and say, you know, me and my wife just a tussle and the gun go off, and me did have it on a setting where he shoot 3 shots at a time and 3 shots go off and hit her. Somebody go help me, boy. How we justify the cleaning up of the crime scene? That to me in England, that would have make it premeditated murder.
DUJON, what you say, you must say that all of that took place after the fact. Me attack, what happened? Because you see when me I try to tell him, say, you can break down premeditated murder within thoughts during your action.
Yeah, but
that is what he not tell me. He might try to put it in a process.
No, me answer your question. It is simple. It has to do with the time, the period of time before the first and second and third child. I answered. I am saying if it was a bam bam bam, I did not stop and think. I did not have time to stop and think about my action. But if it's a bam, I pause and then I bam. I pause and then I bam.
You don't say premeditated. You have to be premeditated by just getting up and going for the gun.
Yeah, because that is your intention. And that they look funny in Britain, you know. So they look funny in America too. You going for the gun, you know the outcome. When you fire upon somebody, you know, so you possibly can kill them, you know. So I don't understand why I go on to Jamaica.
All right, I'm going to say something. What I've heard, allegedly, when the incident happened, she normally sleep with her kids. The kids normally sleep with their mom because he was like somebody that he was doing his own thing. He came home and he sent them off to their room, sent them off to their bed, and so on. Because the life that he was living, she was like normally, it's like it was married, but it wasn't there. The kids would normally sleep with her because he would hardly whatever. But that night, the kids stated that he asked them to go to their room to go and sleep, right? That's because that is in my head, and that's how it's structured in my head from that point. Now, after they hear the loud bang, they woke up and they asked, and he tell them to go back to sleep, right? So you're telling me the fact the other thing is that those are like two for me, you know. The other thing is, what has she done to you that she have never done to allow you to, in a split thinking, to think that, okay, you're going to get rid of her? Because he doesn't have a wound to say, okay, she fought him, this time she chose to fight. She has never fought him before, but this time she chose to fight. She attacked him. There's no evidence of that.
In first statement,
so I'm saying,
she died in her sleep.
So question: have you and your spouse ever had an argument, and your spouse come home and want to discuss the matter with you? Would you discuss the matter in front of the kids?
Listen, my brethren. You see that argument that we are talking about? It now will know.
Why would you come at sleeping hours to take the kids out of the room? Why would you come that hours to have a discussion?
We want to ask this brother the question, then when we think really matters. If enough for him one statement, him said the woman died in her sleep. This woman was sleeping, right? He said so, right?
Mm-hmm.
What was the conversation she was having while she was sleeping? to disturb him so much that he kill her.
All right. So we are confused.
That's what I'm saying. That's the same thing.
Hold on. No. We are confused. Two things. We are confusing two things here. All right. We are confused his initial statement with what he plead and say no. Alright? The
My
man
question wasn't confusing that though.
Hold on.
That's why I'm telling you. Listen, before you say anything more, that's why I'm telling you. What we want to try to describe and try to put across is just pure hypocritical. Because what you are going to say right now, me I'm going to tell you what you're going to say. You are going to tell me, say, they are going to take him on his word to give him manslaughter because of his word. Yeah? Not because...
No, I know that means
evidence.
No,
listen what I'm saying.
I know that means I am answering the question.
No,
I'm trying to answer the question.
Listen what I'm saying to you. None of the formal evidence matter now because this man sit down and can think about everything and come up with a story now so he can plead for manslaughter, right? So this is only what matter now, right? And that you're going to try to tell me, say? Whatever they happened previously don't care because the evidence we need is this man saying him is willing to manslaughter. It sounds like dumb as an authority.
Well, I know. All right, it sounds dumb. All right. So, me commit the act, and after me commit the act, realize what me just do. Me have two choices. One is either me try to cover it up and take myself out of trouble and pray say the truth is not discovered. Or two, me report it and tell the truth and take my chance. Alright? No, me choose to try and cover it up. The truth come out. When the truth come out now, me I look for life imprisonment. If they try me as a and me I look for 20 years. If me please say it was done in the heat at the moment, so it is deemed as manslaughter.
So let
me ask. Hold on. Let me ask a simple question. If you were in his shoe, what would you do?
I would not have killed my wife if I was in his shoes.
Hold on, man. Hold on. We not deal with this. We not deal with this. We not deal with this. We are dealing with eating. We're eating.
Hold on, because you ask things and me ask a question on what you are saying. You said it,
right? Machine. I don't listen to this because I heap a question. Me go forget what me go say to you. See? Now, I have my first baby mother. See? We absolutely despise each other. We are island water. Me hate him like a dose of pies and she hate me too. See? I was the one who was working at the time. And I got a place. See? After having my first daughter, realize the relationship now go work, it's toxic. Now, me and her fight couple times. I realize this a got impact. She did have a daughter, and for me that bad. I sit down as a man and looking at myself and I say to myself, you know, say, I don't want to pick them and grow up and I live and I see where I live the way. See? And I sat down one day and I talked to her and I said, listen, relationship now go work out, you know. Me go move on. See? and I move out. Hold on.
DUJON, you attack from a normal mindset. You attack about a criminal mind, you know.
Hold on, me tell you now. Cause enough time I feel like strangling. See? But I did not. I moved back out of that house. And I even came off the tenancy and give it to her. See? And I sit down and I talk to her and I tell her, I say, it's not going to work, and I walk away. Why him could do that? Enough time I feel like we do our wicked things, but me not do it. Because I have self-control.
Yeah, DUJON, but we have to understand, you know, we are human beings.
You have to have a certain type of instinct, you know, criminal instinct, what they call born to kill and all these things, if you watch them psychological program there. But anyway, me have a question for this brother from when just say. You said eventually the truth come out, right? What was that truth?
The truth is that him killing wife.
The truth is that him killing wife.
Yeah, the truth is that him killing wife.
And because the truth come out now, we can take him at his word that I provoke him.
No, it's not.
Provoke him.
Hold on, man. Hold on. And here we are go again. It's not about taking his word. It's about what the law allow him to do. It's not about taking his word. Because me know.
Me go tell you what happened. Do it.
Me wouldn't do. No, hold on. You know, me know what me wouldn't do to him. You know what you wouldn't do to him. Everybody know. We basically have the same mindset as to what we wouldn't do to him.
What you are saying now, it just leads us to say that our system are 100% flawed.
Hold on, Nicola. It's not that the system is flawed, you know. It's not that the system is flawed. The system can work. But listen, what really happened here, I want to know if you hear me. What really happened here, this brother premeditatedly murdered his wife, and the police and the DPP have failed this victim because they were lazy and negligent in doing their job. That is what happened.
And that's what I said, the person who is to be blamed.
But there's a situation where you have murder. Don't you have murder and you have premeditated murder and you have cold-blooded murder? This is a cold-blooded murder. So if we're justifying saying, okay, it's not premeditated, it is cold-blooded because you saw her, you didn't make an attempt to save her because after you inflicted what you have done to her, you realize what you have done and you choose not to save her. If you had made an attempt to call somebody to come and take her to the hospital, we could understand. But this is a cold-blooded murder. If it is even not a premeditated, it is cold-blooded because you saw the wife of you, the mother of your children, the health of your children, the guardian of your children going down, and you choose not to pick up the phone and call and say, I did something wrong. You could serve her, save her.
We are not refuting. We not refute.
No, but what is happening here? Because it is not premeditated, it seems as if it is not murder. That is what you people are allowing it to seem. But we're saying it is. It might not be premeditated, but it is cold-blooded.
Hold on. But you have to premeditated. The whole thing of this premeditated thing, where they matter about, you know, is only based upon his account that his wife provoked him now, you know. That's the problem with that, you know.
And what I'm trying to say to you, if the law never gives that option, we would not be having this discussion.
I don't believe
that. Okay, so that's what I'm saying. That means that the chief judge and the DPP are not well thinkers to think that it might not be premeditated, but it is cold-blooded. Because when somebody does something and they have remorse, they will call for help.
I don't believe it is the option of the law. I believe that, like me say, the people that was tasked to go out and find the evidence, they have failed this victim. Yes. Good morning, Jacqueline. Go ahead, Jacqueline.
Morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning.
There's a lot. I think there's a lot of things we are overlooking. First, we're not supposed to be talking about if. If it's out of the equation, this man went that day directly to kill his wife. He went into her room harmed. He could have given a little lick with a woman. If it was something that sparks his rage, he could have beat her up physically with his hand. He went directly to kill his wife. And he never even think of his kids, them, the repercussion it would cause. His kids, them, he never think about nothing. He just want her gone, and that's what he did. So all of the Wolipa scenario, we just let be blunt. This man know what he was doing, and he know what he intended to do, to go and get a job done, and that's what he did. Now, for 2 years, he's been in lockup. He wasn't thinking about confessing that he killed his wife. You know why this man confessed? We are on the outside looking in, so we are seeing the picture more brighter than everybody else. All right.
That's why
now that the trial is about to begin, and there are so many fish that is going to be caught in the fish pot or the net, is trying to save those people. He is trying to save those people so they might not have to take the stand. That's basically why this man wanted to reduce to a manslaughter. You understand? And if you notice the only name, in spite I don't mind what they do to her, you know, the only name you hear they are calling is Little Bit of Blood, because she had a weak sense. Once again, because you know, this is another woman that might be thrown under the bus. Because you know. You know, hear about the Mark Golding when they come announce the woman death. And I thought about she die in her sleep. No, she die in her sleep. If she die in her sleep, that is the key word. She died in her sleep. What kind of provocation did they have at the time she died? None. Another thing again, for her to get shot in that crucial place, she wasn't standing up.
Apparently, she was not
so
shot
let us forget about the if, the but, or the maybe.
No, gentleman putting us to the challenge, you know, and we are taking on
yes,
a challenge.
I know, and I heard, but I am saying,
yes.
I am saying, for who is thinking rationally, this is a capital murder. Straight up.
Yes, Hold on. It's a capital murder. Yes, it's a capital murder. But at the end of the day, what action can you and I take? The only action can be taken by the court. The man getting chance in the court.
Doing
and the man
underestimate the power of the people. You know, you see, this very debate might go a long way. You know, we need to change these things about our system because it not help. See, but go ahead.
DUJON, right about hold on. Let me just say this before I forget. Right about now, we're not business with Sylva. We're not supposed to talk about no hit with Sylva. We're supposed to talk about the children. We're not business with Sylva. Because one way or the other, it's going to leave a real nasty taste in these kids' mouth. We're not business with Sylva. Nobody's not supposed to steal a debate about Sylva. We don't hear nobody attack the children them and effect of what it is taking on the children them. We're not business with Sylva because Sylva, up until this moment, Sylva defending Tapanaris friend them. If you look on things, he might defend him Tapanaris friend them. You know, hear him once say anything about his children them who are suffer the consequence.
No, you're not going to hear that publicly.
Sister, it's not about we debating Sylva is not a matter of the children. This is the president who has set in our society.
Yeah.
Yes, but you see, we just are losing precious breath every day about Sylva and what should have been and what is about.
Yeah, miss the point, Jacqueline. You see this debate?
It
might go far away.
Me not miss the point.
Hold on, no.
Me not miss the point.
Hold on, no.
Because
yeah, say we are talking about Sylva. We have to talk about it. He's my topic, you know. I'm killing wife. And
it has to be discussed because
this might set a precedence where other men in for him position where their wife own things and they want it. They might kill their wife and say a manslaughter and come out in a 7 year and get everything. So we have to talk about
that's why them should have dropped it. It's to call it a premeditated murder. It might not be a premeditated, but it is cold-blooded. It is cold-blooded. The fact that you did what you did to her, you watched her suffer before her last breath. You could have called the police because probably you hallucinate or you could have called for help. If you had called for help, now we know that you realize what you have done and such. But the fact that you did not call for help, you covered it.
Listen to me. This is 100% premeditated. I mean, I tell you why. If him get up and say for 7 year or for 6 year in wife and nag him both the pitney. When plan for the body and the plan was to kill his wife, it is premeditated.
Exactly. But those are you have to understand in a DUJON, you have to select, you have to pick a struggle, in order for us to say what type of murder. Because if we're going to say, just like this gentleman is doing, if we're going to say premeditated, and each time we come up with something that beat it down, there's more than evidence to say it is cold-blooded. Because if you turn your back on a victim after injured, you is a cold-bloodedness because you see the damage that you have caused and you choose not. Because man do that before, and call help,
Me want to say something, but me afraid.
Go ahead, man. Talk. We are debating, nobody. Hold on, do it. Let me say this. Before you say this. Hold on, do it.
You guys kind of misunderstand. You guys kind of misunderstand. I misunderstand.
Yeah, hear me. Hold on, do it. Let me say this. I said this is a platform. You all are we a friend and brother. We are decency we deal with.
Yeah, you're free to.
We might debate hard and
no, man, I know that. No. Yeah. I know that is but sometimes we go in and myself. So what me I try to say is this though.
Yeah.
Sometimes we forget that we are all human.
Yeah.
And we forget we forget that sometimes we do things where we want to do, but at the time when we do it, we never mean to do it. Alright? So may I say that to say this? A woman being on your case for 6 years, you go snap one day. Yeah, you go snap. And as you say, it can be proven that you were thinking about snapping and you snap. But the thing what I try to say is this. If we don't know, say, yes, he did it. And based on everything that is there, it points to him having the intention to do it. Based on certain things that we start to come out to.
Then
right? But at the end of the day, as you said, DUJON, there were flaws from the beginning. The police who start the case did not do his job correctly. You see, if you're going on a suit, you get a call to somebody just then find somebody dead. And you go on the scene. The first thing you have to do is protect your scene, preserve your scene. You go at the home. the person where you first person where you talk to. You need to find out who was at the home at the time when they find the person dead. You go in the room with the person there. When you go in a room with the person there, you check the person for marks of violence. That is what you're required to do. You need to make note of everything in a room.
But I was told,
You need to call the scenes of crime. So scenes of crime come process the room.
Virgin, you see what you were explaining? May I tell you, you see what you explain? I will meet from the other night. Listen, I honestly believe, although we have the debate, I honestly conclude already that this thing was planned from day one with police, politicians, and everybody, and right down to the judge and the DPP right now.
And the police now, wait, me have to defend police. Me have to defend police because me have the police, so me have to defend police. You
can defend them, but we have good police. So
yeah, but let me tell you something about police. No, this was
no. Let me say what I say. Let me say, and then you're going to defend the corruption. Yeah,
no, me not defend corruption. Me not defend corruption.
They all plan it out. We know that. And we know the other day when he come out and say in plea manslaughter charge, we know it was the big cover up is going on. Okay, and I don't know
hold on.
What we say.
Let me explain something to you now.
It's explanation now. Now that we get the explanation. Let me tell you, and then we'll give you the mic, man. We'll give you the mic, man. And you do what you do. Me say we are saying now that we hear him explanation that he only do it because his wife provoke him. That's what we're debating. We already conclude in our head before the judge and the DPP come out with what them did I go do. Yeah, we already conclude in our head that it was total corruption and cover up. Okay, take the mic.
By a system that they pay.
I can say something.
Let me defend police now. Because I have to defend police. Because I work with some good police, so we give them life to any and everybody out there. Know this about police. You see, the police not have to be corrupt. But the police can be intimidated. Intimidated in the sense that when the police go find at the crime scene, and the police go there and say all of the big shows is them.
That's true.
And him alone. And he know what can happen to him.
That's true.
If he do certain things. The police might have pissed up himself when he go there and say all of them the people and start panic. And because he go there and he see them and he start panic, he totally forget all the way to do.
Yeah, absolutely. But that was one of the reasons why we all was saying that they need to protect that one police. We were saying that.
As a police, as a police, nobody can beat one thing. You say, as a police, if you follow the procedure that you're supposed to follow, nobody can touch you, then can do nothing.
All right.
As long as
I look up on ChatGPT a while ago with the difference between the cold-blooded and the premeditated. So because everybody's putting emphasis on the premeditated, we're not looking at there's another level because there are different types of murder. You understand? So the ChatGPT, like the premeditated, they would say this is a legal term. It means the killer planned the murder ahead of time. Even if the planning only took minutes, the key ideas are the intent to kill was formed before the act. There was time to think, decide, and choose to do it. It was purely impulsive. Example, someone buys a weapon, waits for the victim, and decide earlier in the day, I'm going to kill them. In many legal systems, premeditation is what elevates a killing to first degree. So that's what I'm saying. You understand? That's what it does. It elevates it, but it is still a murder. But the cold-blooded...
Jamaica doesn't have first-degree murder.
Okay, all right. So you would say, okay, it is still murder then.
We have capital
but the
murder.
cold-blooded murder, this is mostly descriptive phrase,
do we have capital
not
murder
a
in Jamaica?
strict legal category. It means the killing was done calmly, without emotion, rage, or provocation, with a sense of deliberate cruelty or indifference. Someone can kill in cold blood even if it wasn't planned long in advance. The focus is on the lack of passion or emotional trigger. How it can be premeditated and cold-blooded time.
Yeah, the way
you
understand?
And
show that it was cold-blooded, the way that it shoots was.
Exactly. So the fact that we are using the term premeditated, it's like we're giving, we know there's no, like this gentleman, you were posing questions along the premeditated line. But what we're seeing, it might not be premeditated because we can't prove it sufficiently, but we see the cold-bloodedness of this. We saw the cold-bloodedness because the fact that your kids are there, after you do the act, you could have called for help.
No, the problem with that argument, you are saying that we might can prove premeditated, right? But this is the problem with that, is that this man come now and his words, we accept him saying that is a provocation that led him to commit manslaughter.
Hey, listen.
So, and
what I'm saying, even though we're saying that he was provoked, it could be provoked and do it, but it doesn't mean that it is premeditated. But it means that it is cold-blooded because after the fact you did it and you did not ask for help or anything.
Listen to me.
Yes.
Because I know you are trying forcefully this thing, but cold-blooded murder could be a hitman. A hitman no need sympathy and all the rest of it and all this thing. Yeah, I know that we are talking about. I'm talking about if we can now accept him and his word, why we couldn't accept the evidence we have already?
Exactly.
What the evidence? Remember the gentleman, the evidence, most of the evidence is after the fact.
Listen to me.
Most of the evidence are after the fact. Because they're going to challenge it.
Give me a
Let me answer the question.
Give me a talk.
Let me answer the question.
What are you not doing?
One check the DUJON. Let me answer the question. One check. Let me answer the question now. You see, when the man come and see a manslaughter, he take a ball and put in a him court. He give liar a field day. You see, all of what me I say, these are the questions and these are the things that are open to his lawyer. These are the things that his lawyer can start to act on. Because he say,
This is why I
kill her willfully.
This is why I say it is the prosecution, it is the DPP that should have said no, it is not manslaughter, it is murder, and here is why. But anyway, my device are dead, my people. I'm going to go charge up my device. We'll be back on later on and we can continue this discussion. But what I will say before I go, Jail and Sylva should have been charged for capital murder. Capital murder meaning he should have been
no manslaughter for true. No manslaughter. Even if you don't get capital, no manslaughter, no, that is murder. Right. No manslaughter is not in a court.
Big up on yourself.
All right.
So big up all 198 persons who is here. Big up all 136 persons that gave me a thumbs up. Big up on yourself. Please subscribe if you're not yet a subscriber. And I'll soon or later on. See? Big up on yourself. Much love. Show labor rights.